بازا بازا هر آنچه هستی بازا 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 هر آنچه هستی بازا گر کافر و گبر و بت پرستی بازا این درگه ما درگه نومیدی نیست 100 بار اگر توبه شکستی بازا
Come again. Whoever, whatever you may be, come. Heathen, idolatrous, or fire worshiper, come. Even if you deny your oaths 100 times, come. Our door is a door of hope. Come. Come like you are.
One of the people that you see in most cultural events very actively participating is a university professor. Actually, he is teaching chemistry, but very good in literature. Very, very good. And we are honored to have him here to have the program named Taste of Persian Poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mashni.
Special thanks to the library staff, which have in the past also made this particular venue available to me. I've given the very difficult task of in a very few minutes introducing the most read and best loved Persian poet, Hafiz. We are a nation of poetry and poetry lovers. Poetry is in our DNA. Poetry is in our psyche. Certainly, poetry is my own blood. Reading and writing poetry is our passion and pastime. We have in Iran one of the richest poetry collections of any nation in the world. And there is a reason for it. Since Arab invasion and occupation of Iran 1400 years ago, almost every form of creative expression, music, dance, live theater, sculpture, and other forms of art were banned, forbidden, and or at least frowned upon and discouraged. Poetry was the only creative outlet left for Iranians. So it is no wonder that Persians excelled in writing poetry. So it is not a surprise that names like Omar Khayyam and Rumi have become household names. Even in the West, especially after translation of Quatrains by Fitzgerald and Rumi by Nicholson. These two books have been the best-selling books, poetry books, in Europe and in US. There are all kinds of Khayyam clubs and Rumi societies all over the world now. You may remember that UNESCO, the cultural arm of UN, in commemoration of the 800th birthday of Rumi, declared the year 2007 Rumi year. One poet which has not enjoyed the same widespread recognition as one which is the darling and the sweetheart of Persians themselves. That's Hafiz. Persians have got all kinds of wonderful titles for him. One is, they call him the son of Qaib. That means the tongue of, basically it means the tongue of God. Another one, Tarjuman al-Asrar, the interpreter of mysteries. Again, same connotation. Mr. Arbery, Prof. Arbery, one of the best-known Orientalists, has said that Hafiz to Persians is the same as Shakespeare to British. I'd like to go beyond that. I think Hafiz is more than just a genius, more than just a literary giant like Shakespeare. To us, he's a guru, he's a guiding light. In our darkest moments, we run to him to console us and to comfort us. In our happiest occasions, like Nowruz, we recite his poetry and dance to his lyrics. When we are melancholy, when we despair, we run to him, we turn to him to give us inspiration and hope. When all the doors are shut on us, we go and knock on his door. When even God does not answer our call, we knock on his door. His door is always open to us. His heart, the most tender heart, a heart of pure gold, is always open to us. You know, there was a time when I thought I'm the only one so in love with him, so deeply, passionately in love with him. I thought it's almost not normal that my love was bordering obsession. Read him at night before you go to bed. Read him in the morning when I get up. Read him between lectures. Read him when I'm in the kitchen cooking. Reading him when I do the dishes. Then I found out that I'm not the only one. Since this time, the best minds in Iran, up to today, I found out from people like Shamlu, one of the most influential Iranian poets, the superstar Persian female poet, Farrokhzad. They all feel the same way about him. And the list of other Persians, Mashiri, Sayed, on and on and on. And then I found out that it's not just us Iranians with Persian background. The giant German literary poets, philosophers, Nietzsche, Goethe, feel the same way. British, Brown, Nicholson, Arbery, and that great, wonderful, fascinating lady, Gertrude Bell. They all feel the same way, felt the same way about him. Americans, Ralph Emerson, one of the best U.S. has ever produced. Someone who influenced great ones like David Thoreau and Walt Whitman. He was totally fascinated with Hafiz. Let me just quote a couple of things they have said about Hafiz. Frula Farrokhzad, in one of her poems, does that mean my time is up? Can I go on? 2 minutes. Yeah, Mr. Scott. Don't stop me now. I just got going. Frula Farrokhzad says, and comparing herself to Hafiz, she says, Hafiz is an ocean and a universe. He is my master and my guru. Shamlu elevates Hafiz to the rank of gods and higher. Rank of prophets. I'm very careful here. It is a godhead. Hafiz is a godhead to Shamlu. Long essay, another time. We did this with my good old friend Robert Bly once. We had I think some of you might have been there. We went down for 3.5 hours and they finally had to drag us out of being here. Let me just quickly say this, that also he is the most revolutionary Iranian poet that I know of. He went against some of the most powerful satanic centers of power, especially he went against the organized religion and their clergy and the clergy's hypocrisy. A bold man in a dark era of Iran's history, much like what we are in it today. Let me also tell you what Emerson said about Hafiz. He said, he fears nothing. He fears nothing. He sees too far. He sees right through things. He's the only man. This is Emerson, one of the biggest philosophers, literary people of the US. He's the only man I would like to be like. This is the only man I want to be. Goethe almost said the same thing. Goethe's East-West Divan. And Divan is a Persian word which we normally use for Hafiz's collection of poetry. That book was inspired by Hafiz. A chapter is actually devoted to Hafiz. Somewhere in there he says that I wish I could love and drink like Hafiz. Gertrude Bell. She compares Hafiz in her preface to her translation of poetry of Hafiz. He says, it's Gertrude Bell now, British. She says that between Dante, Italian, famous, best, same level as Shakespeare, Milton. She says between the two, I find Hafiz to be superior. Okay, I am out of time. And please, don't look at me like that. I don't see any. What I think, those of you non-Persian speaking people, I think you should, yeah, there'll be some time given for question and answer. And can I take just a minute out of that and do this? I just have to. For those of you who don't speak Persian, enjoy the event tonight. Starting tomorrow morning, pick up a Persian textbook and a Persian teacher. So you can read this stuff in the poetry, the most refined, the most polished poetry in the whole of Persian poetry collection. But honestly, you don't even have to. The poetry is so musical, as you notice some of the poems which Dr. Swanson was recited. It's so musical that you don't even have to follow the lyrics. Just this and then I'll stop. Promise. Persians promise and they break it. Just to give you a feel for his poetry. In one of, I just do a couple of lines. In one line he says, do it in Persian so I could remember the poem itself. Just one line. جنگ 72 ملت همه را عوض بنه چون ندیدن حقیقت افسانه زدن. It says the discord, the war between the nations of the two different sects of religion, he says. It says this is due to their ignorance. Because they did not see the truth, they did not have the vision, they resorted to fabrication and fiction. More and more. آسایش دو گیتی تفسیر این دو حرف است با دوستان مروت با دشمنان مدارا. It says the tranquility, the peace of mind of both worlds is based on these two short phrases. Fairness to friends and civility with enemies. Let me just do this poem, which is in Persian, just so you can see the music, because this guy was a musician at heart and in practice. Leave me alone. دل می رود ز دستم صاحب دلم خدا را دردا که راز پنهان خواهد شد آشکارا. دیدی راز من بود خاشکی برش کرد. کشتی شکستگانی ای باد شرط برخیز باید که باز بینی دیدار آشنا را. در روز مهر گردون افسانه است افسون نیکی به جامعه یابن فرصت آسایش دو گیتی تفسیر این دو حرف است با دوستان مروت با دشمنان مدارا. ای صاحب کرامت شکرانه سلامت روزی تفقدی کن در ریش بینوارا. آینه سکندر جام جمع است بنگر تا بر تو صدارت تا بر تو صدارت احوال ملک دارا. در کوی نیکنامی جناب اسماعیل زاده ما را گذر ندادن، در تو نمیپسندی تغییر خیزد. حافظ به خود نپوشید این خرقه میارون ای شیخ پاک دامن. معذور بدونه وقتی بگه پاک دامن just listen to his sarcasm. طنز گزنده ای شیخ پاک دامن معذور دار ما را.
عهدی که با تو بستم هرگز گسستنی نیست. من بسته تو هستم، حاجت به بستنی نیست. And the translation is bastani means ice cream. It means and it means the promise we made each other, the pledge we did, never will break. Don't worry about it. Don't give me ice cream to keep my promise. I keep it.